dear YouTubing friends, and welcome to this video on the PlayStation Vita. In my opinion, the best handheld out there, portable device out there currently. I don't own a Nintendo Switch. I don't really intend to own a Nintendo Switch. For me, this is the ultimate handheld to get. Others may disagree with that, but that's my opinion. Many of you will know the PlayStation Vita. Released by the giant Sony, of course, the giant gaming company or electronics company Sony. A few years ago now, didn't do too well in the Western Hemisphere. Actually failed quite miserably over here and the States. And it soon, maybe a year or two after it came out, so a few years, it became discontinued over here. Still doing very well in places like Japan, apparently, and other Asian countries. Apparently you can still buy new Vita systems and even games over there for it. The odd one is still released in the Western world, sort of by indie labels and goodness knows what. But for the main, there's just nothing to buy on the mainstream, so big game companies are not releasing for the Vita now. Another thing, in the Western Hemisphere that is, another thing some of you may or may not know, there are two main varieties of the Vita. There's this original version, which has an OLED screen, and many people consider this to be the best looking Vita version. And there was a second version, a sort of more slimline version, and that had an LCD screen. And people were saying that the screen on this original version is the best version. I've never tried the LCD, this sort of second edition Vita, or the updated Vita version. So I can't say which is better, but what I can say is that the screen on this, the actual viewing screen, is fantastic. In terms of old school handheld systems, this is the best screen out there. Absolutely no doubt on that. Another thing that people will say, and I will agree with, this D-pad on this original Vita is amazing. Probably the best D-pad I've ever played on a handheld system as well. Or any system, in fact. Just an amazing D-pad on this. Now, a couple of other differences between this version and the new version is the power supply, which I'll bring into shots here. This has a unique power supply. The original Vita had its own unique power supply connection. This updated version, or the second edition Vita, had a sort of mini USB power supply, so if you have a smart telephone, something like a Samsung telephone like I do, you could use that charger to charge up that system. You can't with this one. If this breaks, I'm going to have to find another original PS Vita connection power supply, because that's very unique to this system. Doesn't worry me too much. The actual battery life on this is fantastic. I'm getting around something like 6 to 8 hours battery life. I'd say more like 6 hours battery life of heavy gaming on this. I think when I bought this a few years ago, I got it for about £80. With a few games, I paid £100 in fact, with a few games as well. But the actual system for £80 with the power supply, when I got it, I don't think it was used much by the previous owner. It still looks pretty much brand new, even after a few years. But because the battery was great as well, it seems that maybe the previous owner bought it and just decided they didn't want it, or bought a new Vita, or just didn't like it, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with my purchase. I've got a variety of games. As you can see, I've spread them out on a table there. If I find a game in a second-hand shop and I want it, I'll generally pick it up. Typically, I can buy these games, that'd be roughly the price I'm buying them for. Oops, my hand's very wobbly there, I do apologise. Typically, I'll buy games for around that price for the Vita. I'll look anywhere between £6 and £8. Some of them are more expensive, like this one here, but I actually got this with my Vita system. When I bought this, I got a package deal, so effectively got this for around £8, which is roughly the price I'll pay for it. I think, because I've been holding out my hands slightly wobbly, this hand, so you have to bear with me. Very unique games on this system, and it's one of the reasons I wanted it. Games like Valkyrie Drive. Yeah, it's kind of anime-inspired or anime-esque type game. Does a bit of fan service, like very sort of very soft porn. Very soft porn. You really don't see much in terms of nudity in these games. Some games you can, apparently. I didn't get it for that. This is like a multi-monster or multi-mob, multi-enemy kind of game. You get like 10, 20 enemies on the screen at once. I'll show you a bit of that gameplay. Very unique. You got that sort of trigger happy havoc. I'm not going to try and pronounce that last part. Another very unique sort of story mode, detective, thriller, whodunit kind of game. Very unique. I've not played enough of that game. I want to revisit that one. Another sort of multi-enemy, multi-mob game. Let's try and pronounce this one. Senran Kagura. Pretty sought after, these type of games now. Very unique to the system. Another unique one, Lost Dimension. Not played quite enough of that one. And, oh, I can't forget Galgun Double Piece. Highly unique. Again, very anime-style type game. But lots of fun. You got these girls falling in love with you and you got to shoot them with some kind of magic potion or something. I can't remember what it is. But you save them, stop them coming after you. Incredible games on this system. There's one game there that you probably can't see. It is on my system. It's Persona 4 Golden. If there's ever a game that you could say it's worth buying the system, it's a system seller, that's Persona 4 Golden for the Vita. Many people will say it's worth buying the Vita for Persona 4 Golden alone. If you just had that one game, it's a game I played the most on this by far. If you had just that one game, it's worth buying a Vita for. Let me show you a bit of that. I don't have the physical copy, unfortunately, but I do have it on the system, and it only cost me a few pounds, so win-win there. Turn the volume up on this. Best way to play this is with a set of earphones or headphones. The sound on this system is very good as well, but better with earphones or headphones by far. I usually play it with earphones plugged in. Say no there. Watch this. Bit of Persona in general. Persona 5, of course, was on the PlayStation 4. And I'm not sure if it was on the Xbox, but I've got Persona 5 on the PlayStation 4. This is the game that's the best for me. Persona 4 Golden, you can't beat this. Let's load a game. I'm about, what am I now? Almost 50 hours into this game. You could call that 60 hours, because there's a couple of occasions where I've tried to complete a level, a few occasions, and I didn't save it. So you could say I'm 60 hours into this game. You've got people who are 100 plus hours into this game. It's easy to go over 100 hours. Let's choose that one. It is touchscreen, but some games are not touchscreen. That doesn't seem to be. It's Final Fantasy-esque style gameplay. You go into this dimension through the TV, this other dimension, and then you battle enemies. I'll show you. Let's just show you a little bit of gameplay on this. Basically, when you first play it, you've got to clear all these dungeons and then rescue one of these characters and they join your team, and you can have them as buddies. Okay, I'm going straight for the big battle here from the last floor. That's okay, we'll go for the last battle. No, we can't, because I've played it. Oh, dear. That was a mistake. Can we go... Yep, let's go up these stairs to the previous level. I've cleared this dungeon through, that's why it's not showing anything. It's not showing the main enemy, the last enemy. But we'll choose one of the lower enemies. If I can find one. There's one. Give it a whack. This is where you get this amazing combat system. One of the best combat systems. One of the best combat systems I've seen in a game. You choose a skill, it's like a magic power, you use your persona. Look at this. Wow. Let's try that again. Some of them are controlled by the computer. You can control them yourselves or ask the computer to control them. A couple of them I control myself, a couple of them I leave the AI to control. And it seems to do a good job. Look at that though. Just the screen, the way the colours pop, the sound. This game in particular, you can just sink hours in grinding up. I mean, like this dungeon, I've cleared it a couple of times already. I'll go back and clear it a couple more times. It's just, let's just choose any card, it doesn't really matter. Basically, you get cards, you get items, keys for chests, and it's quite a complex system, but, oh, I've leveled up, hey. Okay, that's enough of that game anyway. But yeah, you could spend hours just grinding through that game, and I do, and many people have. Definitely a system seller. Very unique for the Vita as well, worth buying a Vita for. Now, let's go to Valkyrie Drive. I've got the... This is obviously a little cartridge that plugs into the top of the Vita. I've got it in there already. Let me show you the box for that Valkyrie Drive I showed you before, I think. But I've got it in the system, so let's give this a go. This is like a manga-esque game. There's a little bit of boobies and goodness knows what. Nothing hard porn, shall we say. Nothing too... nothing that will stop me getting... Well, nothing that will pull my video off YouTube, I hope. But you'll see from this intro... It's very sort of anime-inspired. Oh, come on. There you go, so you get the idea. Weird story drive. I don't get the story at all. In fact, not into the story whatsoever. So let's just skip that intro. Continue. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll continue my game I've got in progress. Load this save data. Hopefully it won't take too long. There you go. It's pretty quick on the Vita actually, loading games. Generally. Story mode, let's continue that. And you can see the graphics again are just brilliant. I don't know what I'm choosing now, never mind. Okay, that'll do. Graphics again, they just pop on this screen, especially on the OLED screen, they really pop. There's a bit of loading going on there. Hopefully not too long. Now there's a bit of story mode in this. I can't be bothered with the story in this game. This particular game, Persona 4 Golden, I showed you before, the story in that is fantastic. One of the reasons I enjoy playing it. This game, it's there you go. I mean, are there really people who enjoy this kind of story? Story's crap, but the gameplay, let's see if I can skip that. Do I have to press start to skip? Skip, yep, let's skip. Oh, yep. Skip and get to the combat. The combat in this is stunning. Okay, let's go. There you go, you see. Just brilliant, so I have to get through these. There you go. Just, I mean, look at this. Just brilliant. Very unique. I've not seen a game like this previously until I played it on the Vita. There you go. So then you battle lots of enemies at once. What am I doing? Let's lock on somebody. It's better. Just to give you an idea of this. It's just so much fun. It's a blast to play through. If I'm not doing very well, don't forget I'm looking through the lens of my camera, so I can't quite see it as good as I want to, but I'm doing okay. And you can hear the noises going on in the background. Yeah, there's a lot of fans of this game, maybe not for the reasons that they should be. Not particularly for the gameplay, shall we say. But I think the gameplay is what makes this game absolutely... Oh, no, I'm not doing too well. What's going on there? Yeah. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. Bollocks. That's better. Where are we going? There we go. So you get the idea, and the whole game's like that. It's just brilliant to play through. Sorry if I'm not getting this in focus as much as I want to. But there you go. So you can see why, hopefully why, from what I've just showed you, how unique this system is. And like I say, even playing something like Wipeout 2048 on this, they get the right name, yeah? Even playing that, it's the best way to play that game by far, I think. I can play this in VR as well. It just doesn't compare. Playing it on that system with that screen, with headphones in, it's just brilliant. Fully recommended. And you've got lots of those kind of weird multi-battle games. Games that may not make sense to you when you begin, but really, really addictive. Just brilliant. Even things like Little Big Planet, of course. Fantastic. Like a game creator. Got to play more of that. I've not played as much of that as I want to. It really takes advantage of the touch screen and the tilt system. And it's even got back sensors on this Vita as well, on the Vita as well. Really takes advantage of that. Anyway, there's one part. The game's enough. Persona 4 Golden is enough of a reason to buy this game. You've even got things like Minecraft you can play, which is fantastic on the Vita. Another excellent feature of the Vita is the emulation, particularly when you're emulating handheld systems. Now, before I go into showing you this is not a tutorial. I will not do a tutorial on emulation because it's quite a complex beast, or it used to be. It may have improved in recent years. On the Vita, it's not straightforward. I don't remember how I did it, how I got the emulator. I knew I had to jailbreak the system to get the emulator on. So basically, I've disconnected it from the Wi-Fi. It doesn't update. It's not a tutorial, but enough chattering, let's actually show you the emulation aspect. Comes up with minis, it's not a minis, basically. It plays PlayStation 1, by the way. PlayStation 1 games perfectly on this. You buy PlayStation 1 games from the Vita store, and it just plays them brilliantly. So let's go to the Game Boy Color emulator. It's Master Boy, that's right. Like I say, I mean, don't even ask in the comments how to get these things on here. I don't remember. I know it was highly complex. I had to connect the Vita to the laptop and then load a load of software to get them on. This obviously plays Game Boy Color games, but it also plays Game Boy games. I had a Game Boy back in the day. Many of us did, I know. Let's show you one of the Game Boy games. Let's make sure that's Game Boy. Yep. Tetris, you can see it's got Tetris GB, it means Game Boy. The other one is Game Boy Color, but let's show you the actual Game Boy, the original Game Boy emulation. Oh dear, I've just come out of it. I bought a Game Boy secondhand recently. I've forgotten how bad the screen was on it. On this, you've got no problem. Look at that screen. And when you play the game itself, it's absolutely perfect. With that D-pad especially, it's better than ever I remember playing this on the Game Boy. It feels better than I remember. A lot better. Obviously the screen's a lot better because it's been emulated. Highly, highly accurate. The Game Boy is not difficult to emulate, let's face it. But because you're playing it on a handheld system, it just emulates it perfectly. This and Super Mario World were my go-to games on the Game Boy. And now I can just play them all again without actually buying a Game Boy, a physical Game Boy, which is fantastic. It just feels like I'm playing a Game Boy there. You can load another game. I use the trigger keys there to load another ROM. Let's show you one of the Game Boy Color games to show you how well it emulates that. Wario Land is there. You've got Pokemon and Legend of Zelda. Let's do that. Never owned a Game Boy Color system, but I imagine this is spot on as well. There we go, Legend of Zelda. Come on, can I get past that? Oh, the music. Show you a bit of gameplay here. I've got the game running, that's fine. Oops. Don't think I got anywhere in this game, no. I can't skip that. Anyway, you can see... Which, can we get into gameplay? You can use this bottom controller or the top one. Sometimes the bottom one's better for this. No, actually a D-pad's better. D-pad's better on old school games, let's face it. Can I move that? No, I think you have to follow the path here. Never played this game back in the day. Some of you may, but you can see it looks perfectly emulated. Never owned it, but it looks perfectly fine. I can imagine it's as good as it was in the Game Boy Color. So you can play all these games. Fantastic emulation system, for Game Boy Color. You can even, what I want to do is get the links on here as well. I had a Lynx back in the day. Apparently it's really good at links. You can even do this Super Nintendo. I don't like playing Super Nintendo games on portable systems. The screen doesn't look right, of course. You got this intro screen here. Actually, I'll show you a bit of Super Mario World, shall I? Why not? How do I get into it? Okay, is it still loading? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, you've got to go past that. Okay. Okay, oh, blimey, that writing's tiny. Can I see that? Super Mario, Super Metroid, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World. Let's show you a bit of that. Like I say, just to show you it does work well, I don't like playing Super Nintendo games on a small screen. I prefer to play it on the Raspberry Pi, for example. But just to show you, it emulates the SNES perfectly as well. Let's do this screen. Still my favourite Mario game of all time. Undoubtedly. No, which is fast? Can I... That's not fast, is it? No. Oh, is that a fast? Yep. So there's the speed. Yep. Oh, yep. Need a bit more practice. I used to be able to whiz when I had this game back in the day. I completed, found every single star, every single secret. Anyway, let's not go into that. Let's give you my conclusion, the ending thoughts on this, because this video's getting long enough. If you haven't bought a Vita yet, and you like those kind of games I showed you before that are specific for the Vita, this is the system for you. If you're interested in getting a Game Boy, even a second-hand Game Boy, don't just buy a second-hand Vita and get the Game Boy emulator and play them through this, because it plays them perfectly. Favourite handheld system of all time. I've owned a Game Boy, I've owned a Lynx, I've owned a PSP. Eventually I gave them all up. Wasn't really into any of them much. Lynx and PSP a little bit more. Game Boy I was back in the day. But eventually I ended up selling them all because I got bored with them. I'm not going to sell this one unless times get dire and I need to. And I would hate that. This will be one of the last things to go. I just love it too much. I love the games, the native games on it. Go and buy one if you haven't already. But please leave your thoughts. Let me know if you like this video by dropping a like. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you soon.